issue that many of you have expressed interest in. So we have here presentations, and certainly we would allow you to ask any questions you may have while we have the correct staff as well as the team here to be able to speak. With that, I would turn it over to my city manager, Mr. Cam Benson. Welcome, Cam.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. First of all, let me say good evening to everyone via Zoom and everyone in the room, and those of you outside the room waiting to participate. I want to take this opportunity to thank the Councilwoman Igadaro for inviting us tonight to talk about some of the issues that are going to be coming forward to the community as well as the City Council. I do also want to recognize Councilman Robert Stevens at large and Councilwoman Linda Julian at large for the City of Miami Gardens. Welcome to the meeting. On the call, we also have Chief Noel Pratt, Ozzie, our building official, Laura Leon Bertie, our capitals director. I have Nakisha Smith, our planning and zoning director, who is in the room this evening. Stacy, who runs the Bunch Park Community Center. We have Officer Jackie Harris, who will be giving the presentation a little later. And our city clerk, Mario Bata, right here, standing right here. And Onika. Welcome to the meeting. A couple things I want to change in the agenda itself. There was supposed to be a presentation given by the G3 AEC company tonight. They will not be giving that presentation tonight. Unfortunately, they are out of the country, and due to COVID, they are unable to return back to the country. And so therefore, they will not be here tonight. Additionally, their item is scheduled for next Wednesday. Is that correct, Nakisha? And they will be recommending to council for a continuance of that item. So I just want everyone to be aware of that. So tonight we will have a presentation by Mr. Albert Walters regarding the Monument of Faith Development and Rezoning that they are proposing in the City of Miami Gardens. And I'm going to turn that over to them to do that presentation. If I've missed somebody from my team, I apologize. I can't see everybody on the Zoom. But I do want to thank everyone that's here tonight for being here in order to get an understanding, a better understanding of what we're doing in the City of Miami Gardens, in particular to this presentation, this project that is being proposed in the city. With that, Mr. Waters, I'll turn it over to you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I'm sorry, council members, do you have anything to say? Okay, thank you. And good to see you, Councilman.
Good evening, everyone. For the record, my name is Albert Waters, E.L. Waters and Company LLC, and I have with me tonight my partner, Mr. Anson Stewart, who is Stewart Architecture, and both of us are, are representing Monument of Faith Ministries. Bishop Francis is on his way, who is the pastor of the church. But for the sake of time, we're going to go ahead and present to you what we have. And does anyone not have a little pass out that we've given? Okay, I'm going to take time for us to get that right quick. This is an item that's scheduled to be presented to the City Council on January 26th. And so we're here tonight to basically explain to you what our proposed rezoning is for this particular site. The proposed rezoning is from an R1 to an R25 for development of townhomes. The applicant is Monument of Faith Ministries. On the first page, you will see an aerial view with the site that's carved out in yellow. Monument of Faith, if you're not familiar with them, they're located approximately 183rd Street and 20th Avenue, which on the drawing that you see, they're the ones that are going to be on the right corner. The church there is a large structure that's there. The church owns a variety of parcels of land within their adjacent vicinity. And so the proposed rezoning that we're requesting is slated right now as the R1, which is it is an R1, which is single family zoning. and we're proposing an R25 for townhomes, approximately 25 for sale at that site. You will see on the second page, it shows you the actual zoning map, and you can see the various different zoning designations for the land that's in and around it. That the areas that's in yellow are zoned as single family. The red and is more of a commercial. The pink is, and I'm getting mine. The pink portion is much more in line with multifamily. Monument of Faith, the church was established back in 1986. At that time, it was within Miami-Dade County. They provide a variety of Christian-related activities from the standpoint of empowerment training. They do conflict resolution and the like. And so, for the property that is before you this evening, as a part of their overall activity for the betterment of the community, they're proposing a rezoning change to allow for the development of these townhomes. If you turn to page 3, while this is a rezoning application, and that will be under consideration by the city council, we decided to also give you an idea of what we will be proposing, but that's not under consideration at this moment. The overall request is for the site to be rezoned, and we're seeking approval from the city council. So with that, I'll entertain any questions that you all may have of our proposed project. Yes, ma'am.
Are you guys having financial problems?
When you say you guys, who do you-
I mean, the church. Who's selling the property or changing, requesting zoning?
the bishop is not here yet, and so I can't answer that question. I'm not aware of
You
any
work with
financial-
them?
I'm a consultant. We are their consultant.
Okay,
in
you consult
in
with them, they
regards to
don't
this.
know why he wants to do this?
No, he's a landowner, they are a landowner,
Uh-huh.
and what they're seeking to do is improve upon the land which they own, and therefore they're proposing something that would be beneficial to
To
the
them or
community.
for the city?
Well,
of
if they own
Uni'tea?
it, of course, they would be beneficial, but again, these are gonna be, for sale, so the individuals that purchase it,
So why,
those units.
if it's gonna
Say
be,
again, ma'am?
if it's gonna be for sale
Uh-huh,
and you wanna change the zoning,
Mhm.
would it not only affect that area, not just for them, but it affect the whole area?
yeah, it will greatly improve the area, because right now there's, for that site is vacant, if you're familiar with it.
I'm
So,
very familiar with
the
it.
site is vacant, as you well know.
Mhm.
It is just south
Uh-huh.
of a multifamily development, which is just north of it, which has been there for years.
Yes.
I can't even remember when it was built, but
I can.
yeah. So the idea behind this is for the church is seeking to improve what landowners will do. They believe that by developing a townhome development for sale, it will allow for new homeowners to come in and purchase those particular units.
So in other words, would it be,
Go ahead, ma'am, I'm sorry. I was gonna say our Bishop James Francis has just entered the room for your information, for
Okay.
everybody's information.
thank you.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Paul Roberts.
Yes.
If I'm looking here, it's showing, what, 25 units, what we're looking at?
Yeah.
About 25 units?
26.
26 units? It's not too many.
And again, what's going before city council
Is the zoning
is the
change.
zoning change.
Right.
It is, the city's, for your information, I'm just gonna step back. The city has an adopted comprehensive master plan, which allows for a variety of uses throughout the city. That is the future of the city of Miami Gardens. The council has already adopted it, and what we are doing is basically addressing or looking at what that comprehensive plan has indicated within the purview of that plan. This proposed development meets the criteria. The city has goals, objectives, and policies throughout as it relates to housing, as it relates to commercial development, and we are in line with what those goals, objectives, and policies are that have been established by the city council.
And there is a severe housing shortage in not just South Florida, but the United States, South Florida in particular. So projects like this is what my firm is passionate about doing, providing housing where there was none in the past. So home ownership, is critical, especially in underserved and minority communities.
Okay, I guess I'm trying to get a real good idea of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Cheryl Brown.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Brian, you said?
Brown.
Yes, ma'am.
What I'm understanding and what I'm definitely not familiar with, when you say residential, and then you turn around and say townhouse, and then you request to have the zoning to fit your needs, not necessarily the needs of, as I'm understanding, not necessarily the needs of the residents that's already there. Now, as we all know, money is the issue. Everybody want to make some money. Most of the time, those that making money really don't live in the area. They don't understand what it would bring to the area because they don't live there. They don't know what impact it would bring. They want their money, they want to go.
Well, if I may interject.
Yes,
ma'am,
sir.
As I mentioned earlier, the church has been there,
Many years.
Monument of Faith has been there since
And
1986.
before that, it was a liquor store. I know.
No, ma'am.
You're talking about right there on 22nd Avenue?
No.
Okay.
You have the wrong location.
Okay.
Monument of Faith is located approximately, it's on Miami Gardens Drive, 183rd Street, 183rd Street, and 20th Avenue. It's the tall, that two-story, large structure.
Okay.
That's that church. Do not get it.
Hill.
Yeah, do not get it confused.
Okay.
I grew up in this area, so
I
I'm
did
very familiar with it, and therefore I'm just trying to make certain that you clearly understand exactly where the church is located, and the site is near the church. If you look again, going back to the map that I placed there, you can see the location of this vacant parcel of land that the church owns and is seeking to have it rezoned for development purposes.
Can I ask one more question?
Yes,
if I may?
ma'am. We're here,
Okay.
as long as you.
When you request the zoning, how much of it, it's not just for this little parcel of land. Of course, they are requesting the zoning. It rezone more than just this little parcel.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
This is specifically for that site that's on your page, that's highlighted in yellow.
Yeah,
It is
okay.
to request for rezoning of that site only, not
Okay.
the entire.
It will not go outside of this site.
It will not.
Okay,
That's not what we see.
okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
My question is, with what they're planning to place there, is that for anyone who can afford to live there? Or is that part of the church property? Because Monument of Faith has about 2 different churches there right now, right? They have the new one and the old one. If we're talking about the same spot. When you make that right turn, leaving from the old Mahogany Grill, that church right there on the right-hand side. So when they build those homes there,
Mahogany Grill?
yeah,
It's further.
when you come down,
Yeah, Mahogany Grill is on.
Make the right turn.
22nd, yeah, 22nd, 183rd. They're further east.
right.
Okay.
So I'm saying they have the old church that was there and the new one that they built. So the property or the land that they're talking about,
The yellow portion.
will that be for anyone who can afford to live there? Or is it just for, say, maybe the members per se of the
No,
church?
it's open, it's open. It's, the idea behind it, and again, we're getting beyond the zoning aspect of it, but assuming that everything moves forward, their development will be made available to anyone. It's an affordable, affordable development, anyone can purchase. But the idea behind it is to provide additional housing within the Miami Gardens community, because as all of us are aware, it's very, well, prices are moving upwards. They're not coming down. So we're trying to be in a position so that we can allow for affordability for those individuals who may be seeking residence for sale to own.
And the church will own that particular complex that
Yes.
you're building?
Yes, sir.
I have a quick question.
Ma'am.
My name is Susan Burns, and I just want to know, because we have in Miami Gardens one of the highest of the property taxes. With all this new development that is coming along, how is that going to affect our taxes in the future? It should go down because now there's more people paying in property taxes. Maybe Mr. Benson can answer that better.
I can't answer that. And just so you know, for the last 9 years, your millage rate has not increased.
Right.
So with the new development that's coming in, certainly we either gonna, if numbers are right, everything meets the expectations that we expect, then those numbers will probably keep your millage rate at the same as it is today. Keep in mind your tax bill not only includes the city of Miami Gardens, but it includes the school system
Right.
and other districts. So if you look at that from a comparison of the city of Miami Gardens and other cities, we're probably not as high as we think we are, but from a millage rate standpoint, we have not moved for 9 years.
But would there be any chance of it ever going down?
Yeah, absolutely. I
Okay.
mean, if those numbers come back right, this type of development, other developments that are happening
Yeah, because
around
I know
the
there's
city,
quite
I
a
definitely
few going
agree.
on around here.
The goal with the development is that obviously we want to see that happen because it takes the burden off the resident.
Right.
I saw another hand. Ma'am, in the corner?
Yes, what conversations have you had with Beacon Hill School, Sunny Isles Church that are adjacent to, right there at the property? Because I'm thinking the playground for Beacon Hill on that backside would be directly parallel with the buildings that you're putting up. How many stories is it? Is this where they're gonna have an opportunity now to look right down at the little children that are playing in the back? Just what feedback did you get from Beacon Hill and Sunny Isles?
Well,
Or you spoke
what
to
is required by the city of Miami Gardens is to, for these types of requests, zoning requests, the surrounding property owners are informed. Letters, certified letters go out to those surrounding property owners, which would include Beacon Hill. So to my knowledge, we haven't received any feedback from them as it relates to that, but they've been notified as to what is being proposed. What you're describing has to do with the next step, assuming our zoning is approved, and that is the site plan design standards that would be applied or be applicable to that particular project, and therefore, that's when the city's planning and zoning will work with our team to determine whether or not we meet the city's design and development standards associated with housing, in this case, townhome.
Right.
So it is a long process, but I can assure you that assuming we get past the zoning aspect of it, that site plan review process will be very intense, and I can pretty much say that I believe the city will work very, very hard to make certain that we meet all the development standards associated within the city.
Okay,
Yes,
let me
that's
take
all.
it back further than that then.
Yes, ma'am?
When you first had the thought from the church,
Uh-huh.
or whomever the developers are, whomever, that this is something that you may want to do as a human being, forget all the other things, I know what that's all about, going down the line, I'm aware of that. But just as a human being coming in, realizing that you're about to impact a school and a church, did you do anything before that point? I'm not saying starting the process of pre-application and all that. Just as a human being, this is something that we're interested in doing. I think we tried to do something like this before, whatever, and that's why we're changing it from R, whatever, 21 to 25. Have you made just a person-to-person contact with the school to say, you know what, we're thinking about, coming out from Monument Church, this is a land area, whatever, that we may go ahead and develop. Do you all feel this would affect your school? I'm just wondering, has anyone in your group, outside of starting the process with the city of Miami Gardens, just decided, human being, I'm gonna go over and find out from Mr. Dixon, whoever over there, how they feel about, we're about to put a
No, well, let me
townhome.
see if I can address that. No, we have not specifically, had a meeting with, Beacon Hill, in that regard, but again, as we're following the procedures, policies and procedures of the city, when it gets to that point, of which the site plan aspect is to be done, then those conversations can be had. As a part of that, schools, when there's a residential development within the city, the schools are a part of
They're
that
part of that
process
process, right.
to determine what impact this type of development will have upon the school system, whether it be public or private. So again, we're not there yet, but this is a small project. This is not a massive project. This is for home ownership. This is for families that will be a part of this community. And again, because of the high cost of real estate, really, we're number 2 in the nation in terms of it's New York, then Florida, and California. We're trying to make certain that we're able to accommodate individuals who may be seeking home ownership, and they may be priced out of the market. We're hopeful that we'll be able to work with them so that they can at least have an opportunity for home ownership.
Okay, I'm gonna try one more time. Okay.
I have not.
Okay, so I'm gonna try again. I've had 2 children to attend Beacon Hill, okay, in years past. If I was a parent coming in now, and I'm not saying I'm against, I'm just trying to get information. If I was a parent coming in, and I knew from Beacon Hill or whomever, that the possibility is that there is going to be townhomes in this space, that helps with my decision as if I'm going to have my child attend that school or not. Why? Because now you have 25 units, maybe 2 cars to every unit. Now you're talking about 25 times 2 cars in that area. My child is playing out there in the back with all these little kids, and they got the pool and everything out there. I'm just saying, I'm a human being, just personal touch. If someone goes into the office of Beacon Hill now and try to apply for their child to attend or whatever, that office personnel, if that parent asks the question, should be able to say, because a lot of parents ask very inquisitive questions, there's a possibility this may be going up over here. They may be in favor of it or not. But what's the concern that you can't go in before you start this process? I'm just saying, why can't someone go in and let them know now? Are they in the dark until you start the process?
They will have the opportunity, like everyone, to attend. And again, one, they've been notified. That's number 1. Every property owner has been notified within a 300-foot radius of the site. That's number 1. Number 2, this is a proposed rezoning. We haven't gotten to the site portion yet. We're just trying to make application for rezoning. Number 3, prior to, it's been there since the early 80s. And it's multi-family. It is more than, it's close to 100 units that's there.
And have a pool.
Okay, they do have a pool.
They have.
But my point being is, this is a proposed project that is not as awesome, it's not as large as the property that's north of it. And secondly, it is, in terms of what we would call in planning, it's a transitional piece. We don't go from the most intensive. What we try to do is come down because we're next to a single-family zone area. So it should not, townhomes bode well. If you look at any developments throughout this area, you can see a mixture. You can see single-family homes, multifamily with townhomes, and apartments. So all of it has to do with this transitional aspect of it to make the neighborhood and make the community more viable. That's all it is.
And everything that you're saying is what a parent would want to hear if they were going into any new situation, as other parents in other cities, municipalities, ask the same questions. That's what we're asking as the city of Miami Gardens, to know everything that you just said. So when we walk into those buildings that may affect our homes or our children, we want to hear from that person sitting in that establishment exactly what you just said. So if that person can reverberate exactly what you just said, then that gives ease to us as a parent, or ease to us if we're about to buy in that area or whatever. So what I'm saying is, you're saying we gotta get to a first reading, gotta get it to the city council, when you already know it. So why is it that I can come? No, you know what you just said. You know what you just said. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That can actually be said to a parent coming in new to the area. That's all I'm saying. Because we're not one just to jump in. We do our research before we move in, before we send our children somewhere. We do our research like the other people do in all of their areas. So we want to sit down with the people at Beacon Hill and they can tell us exactly what you just said. That's all I'm saying.
Yes,
Just to kind of elaborate on what Gail was saying back here, what we wanted to know, in asking if you had discussed with Beacon Hill, because they are a school and you are so close to it, we already see your drawings. Did your drawings have anything to do with the fact that it's gonna be back to a school? Because if you had talked to them and come to an agreement, maybe something would be a little further back, maybe something would be a little further up. You know, that would have something to do with the way you drew.
yeah, but
Your-
Bernie, let me explain. Our focus is only for the rezoning aspect. We provided, maybe we should not have placed a concept in the package, because now everybody is honed in on the concept. The concept is not etched in stone. We're not there yet. All we're trying to do in presenting to you, to the community, is it is a proposed rezoning that will allow for 26 townhomes. That's all it is right now.
Right.
If in fact that's approved, the next step would be to submit a site plan for that would have to address all of the cities, what is called their design and development standards associated with that type of development. And we will be engaged with planning, and we will be engaged with any other entity that surrounds that area, including the school board. Again, because it's residential, we have to make certain that if there are families that are going to be a part of that, then they have to meet Miami-Dade County's requirements as it relates to providing, making certain that it's not impacting their school system to that regard. Again, this is a small project. It is not a massive project. We don't anticipate any tremendous impact on on the infrastructure that we have.
Follow up on that, I'm looking at your drawing. Are you having a clubhouse here,
No.
pool
No.
here?
No,
Let's focus on the resort. Maybe we should.
But that's all a
But
part
we're
of
not there yet. I'm just telling you,
it.
this is
You
just
don't
a
know
concept.
because of this. I mean, we can tell our person no.
You ought to jump in the gun. They wanna know, this could be turned down.
This is what we say.
That's what we're saying. So
And
just
we
say
look at
we
this,
don't
and
research.
this
This
is what we
this
turned
meeting
down.
should only be about the zoning.
That's right. About the words.
Now, if they get approved, then what you gonna worry about having to be taken in a vote?
But it has a process that we want to be involved in.
Okay,
Try to, if you don't like it, turn it down.
All right, right now we're gonna take a question from Zoom. The question is, and this is from Lynette Hickenbottom. Mr. Waters, can I have a quote on the affordable housing? Who quote? And I believe the cost.
How much it costs?
We're not there. We're not there.
yeah, we don't know yet.
I'm sorry, is this the Zyphone?
Yes, ma'am.
You keep referring affordable housing, so I thought maybe you have like in a ballpark. Affordable housing is affordable for you, might not be affordable for me. So if you have like in a ballpark, I know you're not gonna have like the size.
Yeah,
You
we
understand? That's what I'm asking.
understood, and we have not calculated on a financing development program for these units. We're not there yet, ma'am.
Okay, just so everyone is clear, the purpose of this town hall, the purpose of this meeting is to discuss the rezoning. So if you have any questions pertaining to the rezoning, you can ask at this point. Fair?
My name is Charles Thomas, and this is all kind of new to me. I am aware of, people having to move, like Ms. Brown said, due to money. So my thing is, I think every plan has an intention, even though you may not know. And I think the people here who are concerned with the starting up of the project and where it's gonna go, you can nip things in the bud early on, or you can nip things in the bud early in the stages or phases versus getting so deep and, not really knowing exactly where you're going. And maybe I'm wrong, but that's just what I'm hearing.
Well,
You need to explain.
let me explain.
They can't hear it.
Let me try to,
The people
see
on
if I
Zoom
can-
can't hear what he's asking.
Yeah,
you want me
Can
to
you repeat the
repeat?
question?
yeah, repeat the
In
question.
front of the, yeah, they're saying they can't
Say
hear.
it and it can be repeated.
Or speak louder.
Oh,
Maybe if you explain your position versus the developer, who's actually on their side.
Basically, what I was asking was, because I'm new to all of this, I'm not too keen on what's, the true issues, not of different neighborhoods, but for me, being from down South Richmond Heights, I've been up here for about 10 years, and I've seen things change. People don't know how to keep homes, people don't know how to get homes, so if you bring new homes in, are they for the people who are here just holding on, who want to try and make things or keep things the way they were, with maybe, some of the older traditional things, or are you just trying to fix the problem of shortage in housing, but it can go to whoever, meaning foreigners or anybody who comes from out of the state or the neighborhood?
well, okay, let me see if I can try to address that. One, as it relates to housing nationwide, there's a federal requirement. We can't discriminate from anyone who's seeking housing. That's number one. You cannot do that. That's against federal law. Number two, the aspect of trying to improve the community through a small development helps the community. The managers just stated early on, this, if the project moves forward, this will allow for, the taxes to kind of remain stable. If it's not developed, that's the question. If it's not developed, what happens? It stays vacant, then the owner has to make certain that, no dereliction comes into play. You don't want nobody to put any junk on it, dump stuff on it. We're trying, in this aspect, looking at rezoning so we can improve upon what currently exists. All it's going to do is do that. And I have to say, I grew up here. So, Rainbow Park is where I came from. Okay, I learned how to swim in Butch Park pool. And so my point being is, I have an affinity for this community. I have always had that. And as a professional urban and regional planning consultant, I don't take on assignments that's going to be detrimental. I just don't. So my point being is, we believe that we have this proposed rezoning will be beneficial. And again, we'll be before the city council on the 26th, and we'll be making that presentation to the community at large. And we're hopeful that we will get a positive response. That's what we're trying to do.
Thank you, Mr. Waters. Cam?
I'm gonna take one more question, and then we're gonna move on to the other presentations for the staff that's here. One more questions? Okay.
I have a comment more so than a question. I'm part of an organization that does a lot in the community, and about 7 years ago, we were looking at that property for purpose. And we decided as a group that it was best suited for residential. And because we knew that we had to change the commercial, and we decided as a board that area was best suited for residential property. And so I applaud you for going that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Officer Jackie Harris.